Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast. Today is Tuesday, April 21st, 2015. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes. Last evening, Acting Commissioner of Police Stafford Liburd, in a national broadcast, addressed the murders which occurred both in St. Kitts and Nevis within the last 2 weeks. The Commissioner used the broadcast to express sympathies to the families of persons affected by crime.
As law enforcement professionals and your neighbors, our hearts go out to the families and friends of Everett Hanley and Jeffrey Daniel. I have no doubt that God is with you and that He will give you the strength and resolve during these troubling times.
Assistant Commissioner Ian Creeley and Superintendent Hilroy Brandy flanked the Acting Commissioner of Police as he made the address. Acting Commissioner Liburd noted that they had received some assistance from the United Kingdom.
Public safety is our number one priority. Over the past several weeks, we have been developing specific strategies to address public safety issues in our federation. We started by looking at best practices internationally, which has resulted in me last month inviting public safety consulting experts from UK with considerable Caribbean policing experience.
The Commissioner assured residents that the police will not allow criminal elements to hurt the resolve and the spirit of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, and as such they have developed short-term plans.
We have identified hotspots where we will coordinate efforts and department resources to prevent and detect crime. We know crimes are being committed, and we will focus our efforts in preventing those crimes and pursue, arrest, and bring to justice those who choose to commit crime. We are implementing traditional and modern community policing methods in our neighborhoods. We have already begun to place extra police in key locations where crime is occurring. You will see the reassurance of officers near to the areas with lots of citizens, including schools. You will begin to see more officers walking the streets in key areas. You will see more patrol in key areas. I have instructed the deployment of our command vehicle. This will be a key element in addressing immediate and long-term public safety issues. We are also seeking to harness new technology to fight crime, including effective use of modern CCTV throughout the island. Some of the cameras the public will see, some you will not. Criminals will be identified and have no rest in St. Kitts and Nevis.
The top police officer also called on the members of the community to participate in the effort and urged them to use the Crime Stoppers hotline.
Our partners include you, the people. If you have any information regarding any crime, please contact the confidential Crime Stoppers line on 1-800-8477. Your phone number cannot be detected.
The almost 10-minute address was aired last evening on ZIZ Television, Channel 6. The government of the Republic of Cuba has announced the availability of 9 scholarships to enable citizens of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis to pursue studies in that country. There were 5 scholarships available for the pursuit of studies in the medicinal sciences, 2 for postgraduate studies in internal medicine, pediatrics, gynecology and obstetrics, general surgery or hygiene and epidemiology. 1 scholarship is available for studies in linguistics and 1 for the pursuit of a bachelor's degree or technical level graduate studies in health technologies. The deadline for the submission of applications to the Human Resource Management Department on St. Kitts is Friday, May 15, 2015. At the time of completing the applications, persons are required to submit certified copies of their birth certificates, high school transcripts and certificates, CAPE transcripts and certificates, and their passport information page. Applicants in Nevis can contact Assistant Secretary in the Premier's Ministry, Kevin Barrett, at 469-5521 extension 2265 for further information and or instruction. St. Kitts and Nevis's High Commissioner to the United Kingdom and Northern Ireland, His Excellency Dr. Kevin Isaac, has been awarded Diplomat of the Year for North America and the Caribbean at the Diplomat Magazine's 7th Annual Award presentation held in London. The High Commissioner was celebrated for his efforts in promoting the interests of small states in international decision-making. The award is unique as the winners are nominated by their peers. In his acceptance speech, High Commissioner Isaac thanked his fellow diplomats for the unique honor which celebrates his country, St. Kitts and Nevis, and small states diplomacy. Other heads of mission honored include the Ambassador of the United Arab Emirates, the Diplomat of the Year for the Middle East, the High Commissioner of Cyprus, Diplomat of the Year for Europe, Ambassador of the Philippines, Diplomat of the Year for Asia, Ambassador of Honduras, Diplomat of the Year for Central and South America, and Ambassador of Ethiopia, Diplomat of the Year for Africa. The evening was sponsored by the Langham London, International Diplomatic Supplies, International Hospitals Group, the Ambassador Partnership, and the London Academy of Diplomacy. Coming up after the break, visitor to Nevis describes the service at local hotel as top-notch. Stay tuned.
Fit and fun. Culturama 41.
Welcome back. More taxi operators have been recertified with the conclusion of the Ministry of Tourism's 2015 Taxi Operators Training course. Product Development Officer Nicola Liebert is directly responsible for taxi operations, and while giving a recap of the course at the April 14th closing ceremony, she noted that the aim is to improve the quality standard of taxi operators.
Some of the topics we would have covered would have included the history of Nevis and how tourism emerged, the sectors of tourism and the tourism components. We would have looked the road safety, especially driver and passenger safety and the Vehicle Road Act. We had the destination awareness, where we talked about what is a tourist, what is tourism, benefits of tourism and the upcoming tourism trends, especially as they relate to Nevis. We spoke towards the laws relevant to the tourism sector, the importance of professionalism and professional grooming. We looked at basic first aid and CPR. We also spoke about exceptional customer service, not just good or fine quality customer service. We looked at exceptional customer service. We looked at what our customers want, who our customers really are, how do we handle difficult situations. We looked about working taxi operations, not just as a day-to-day means of making money. We looked at that this is now your business. Taxi and tourism as your business. And we also had a presentation from Social Security about self-employment.
In congratulating the participants, Policy and Regulations Officer John Hanley advised them that if they put themselves in the shoes of their guests, then they will be some of the best taxi operators in the Caribbean.
I want you participants to exemplify strong Nevisian pride, dignity, intelligence, empathy, and commitment to safety as the hallmarks of your operation. I want you to see this training course more of a commencement rather than a right to feel that you have arrived. You have only scratched the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more for you to learn. I want you, ladies and gentlemen, to adopt a posture of lifelong learning. I want you to read, research, and investigate ways in which you can provide a better visitor experience. I want you to adhere to the code of conduct, and it will guide you as to how to be the most effective ambassador of Nevis that you can be.
Meantime, in his remarks, the Deputy Premier and Minister of Tourism, the Honorable Mark Brantley, noted that taxi drivers are a critical component of what the island offers as a tourist destination.
People are interested in the intangibles, the service that is provided, the ability for you to come and take back real memories of a wonderful time and even be encouraged to come back. If I am to leave you with anything at all, it is that I would hope that through your performance, people will not only come back to Nevis, but when they come back, they will call you and say, listen, I want that same fellow or that same lady that I had before. Because I think that is what we're now moving towards, the increasing and making better the standards that we naturally have to maintain if we are to maintain our pride of place in the industry. Your job is to take them from point A to point B in such a way that they leave thoroughly fascinated with the service, thoroughly satisfied, who knows, thoroughly ready to tip you in a big way, thoroughly ready to go back and recommend you to other people who may come to the island. And that is what we're looking for, people who are really committed.
Partnering with the Traffic Department, the Ministry of Tourism will be conducting inspections to ensure that taxi operators comply with the regulations outlined in the Nevis Taxi and Tour Bus Ordinance. One of two winners of a trip to Nevis is describing the level of service she received as top-notch. Susan Packard was one of two winners of a trip to the island through a sweepstakes advertised by the Nevis Tourism Authority through a popular Chicago morning show. She says her stay in particular at the Nisbet Plantation Beach Club was wonderful. In an email message to the NTA, Packard says everyone was so friendly, and not only did she and her guest Heather Roxton feel welcomed, but they had a great time. Packard, who visited the island in March, describes the weather as terrific and says she had a great time hanging out at the beach and enjoying the 82-degree days. She says their drive around the island was also terrific and they were amazed by the history and the beautiful botanical gardens. Packard says it was a great vacation and she hopes to return soon. Meantime, Laura Arms is the second winner of the Nevis Tourism Authority's promotion. She also won a trip for two through her participation in the sweepstakes advertised on the show, on which CEO of the Nevis Tourism Authority, Greg Phillip, appeared as a guest.
I watched the morning show, You and Me This Morning, on WCIU in Chicago every morning, and they were running a sweepstakes for a trip to Nevis, and I entered every single day. And I was the lucky winner. I've never won a trip like that before, so I was very excited. I saw him on TV. He was talking about the sugar sand, and I was very excited to experience it. So it's a very peaceful, tranquil island. It's been a very relaxing stay so far. I got to take a tour of the island and learn a lot about its history, which I didn't know anything about Nevis before, but it has a very rich history with Alexander Hamilton and the sugar industry. It was a very nice learning experience. And we got to go to the botanical gardens, which was gorgeous. We got to go up a little bit on the volcano mountain. Saw some monkeys, a little bit different than back home at Chicago.
Arms says she will share her experience with others, adding that she would love to return.
I would love to come back. I'd love to come back with friends and family. I plan on telling everybody I know about it because it's just a wonderful, relaxing place. Like I said, very peaceful, very safe and relaxing, and just easy to let your troubles melt away. I'm here with my boyfriend, Brian. We're having a very romantic vacation. We've been together almost 1 year, so it's a nice anniversary trip.
Meantime, Philip, on behalf of the NTA, welcomed the couple to the island.
It's quite good, I think, to have Laura and Brian on Nevis. I think it's something that we can say is really the end of something that we just started. It's our main push in Chicago. We did the morning show on WCIU with Melissa and Jean, and we had 6 weeks of very good promotion, and Laura entered every single day, she said. So
Every day.
congratulations again, and welcome to Nevis. we were quite successful with this promotion in Chicago. By the end of the entire promotion over the 6 weeks, we had 14,000 entries. And that is quite significant because it means that probably even more than that many people actually have heard the name of Nevis now in Chicago and actually know about Nevis in Chicago. And it's part of the push that we're continuing. It's part of our new strategy to really focus our attention on certain places in the U.S. that we know have an excellent appetite for a place like Nevis.
The CEO recently returned to Nevis following a promotional trip to Texas, one of the areas in which he says the NTA has also been making a significant push.
We are also seeing some very good uptake from what we're selling in Texas. Many people from Texas have been coming to Nevis, and many of people in the public, I'm sure, have recognized that. And as I said, it's a strategy for us that is beginning to work, where we're being very focused and targeting specific areas in the United States where we know that Nevis will appeal to. The other excellent thing is that people from Chicago and Texas will travel in the summer because it gets quite hot. And this is our temperature normally, so we're never going to get too hot. We're always going to be cooler than there, so we are making good progress, I think.
Phillips says the NTA is pleased that its quest to make Nevis a year-round destination is taking hold. That's it for this evening's edition of the Nevis Newscast. Thank you for viewing. Good night.